Hello, my name is Ari Waldman. I'm a person who stutters. Today is my YouTube Tanya, day 58, Thursday, December 24th, 2020. My name is Ari Waldman. I'm a person who stutters. The 9th of Tevet. I'm working on pausing. Here goes. Chabad.org, daily study, daily Tanya, Likutei Amarim, beginning of chapter 9, Thursday, 9th of Tevet, 5781, December 24th, 2020. In the previous chapters, the Alter Rebbe elaborated on the composition of the Jew's divine soul with its 10 holy soul powers and 3 soul garments, and his animal soul, with its corresponding 10 powers and 3 garments, originating in Klippa. In the present chapter, the Alter Rebbe will discuss the battle fought within the Jew between these 2 souls. V'hine mekom mishkan nefesh ha-bahamit Shemiklipat noga b'chol ish Yisrael hu balev. The abode of the animal soul, derived from klipat noga, in every Jew, i.e., the place where the animal soul nefesh habahamit resides and is most manifest, is in the heart. For as mentioned in previous chapters, the animal soul is predominantly emotional, and the heart is the seat of emotion. B'chalal smali shehu male dam uchtiv ki hadam hu hanefesh hu hanafesh. More specifically, the abode of the animal soul is in the left ventricle, as it is filled with blood. And it is written, for the blood is the soul, nefesh, indicating that the soul resides in that ventricle filled with blood, the left ventricle. V'lachein, kol hatavot, v'hid pa'arut, v'cha'as, v'domehen, hein, balev. Because the animal soul resides in the heart, therefore, all lusts and boasting and anger and similar passions are in the heart. Umehalev hein mit pashtot bechol haguf. And from the heart they spread throughout the entire body. V'gam ole lamoach shebarosh lechashiv ulaharher bahen ulehit chakim bahen, rising also to the brain in the head, to think and meditate about them, and to become cunning in them. Kamo shehadam mekomo balev, umehalev mit pashet l'chol ha'ivarim, v'gam ole lehamoach shebarosh, just as the blood has its source in the heart, and from the heart it circulates into every organ, rising also to the brain in the head. Similarly, the soul nefesh, clothed in the blood, abides in the heart and spreads out from there to pervade one's entire body. Thus, in the case of the animal soul, the brain, the intellectual faculties, too, instead of motivating the heart and guiding it, merely reacts to it and serves only as a clever tool for realizing the passions of the heart. Ach mekom mishkan nefesh Elohit hu bamochin shebarosh umisham mitpashetet l'chol ha'ivarim. But the abode of the divine soul is in the brains that are in the head, and from there it extends to all the limbs. The divine soul is essentially intellective, and the brain is the seat of intellect. V'gam balev, bechalal hayamini, she'ein bo dam. The divine soul resides also in the heart, in the right ventricle, where there is no blood. Uchamo shekatuv lev chacham limino. As it is written, the heart of the wise man, i.e., the divine soul, in contrast with the animal soul, specifically the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara, which is described as the old fool, is on his right. We thus see that the divine soul resides not only in the brain, but also in the right ventricle of the heart as well. As he did when speaking of the animal soul, the Alter Rebbe again struggles out the heart from among all the other organs. Having said that the divine soul extends to all the organs, he mentions the heart specifically, and also in the heart. For unlike the other organs, in which merely the extension of the divine soul is manifest in the heart, the divine soul itself, i.e., its emotional faculties, is revealed. The Alter Rebbe now goes on to explain this point. V'hi ahavat Hashem kir rish pe shalhevet. This revelation in the heart of the divine soul residing in the brain is merely fiery love toward God. Mitla hevet belev maskilim, which flares up in the heart of discerning men who utilize the power of chokhmah. Ha-mivinim umit bonanim, who understand and reflect with their faculty of bina, understanding, by which they understand the matter in all its details and ramifications. Bidatam asher b'mocham, with the knowledge of their brain, i.e., with their faculty of da'at, knowledge, by which they immerse themselves and sensitize themselves in that which they understand. Thus the love flares up in the hearts of those who utilize all three faculties of Chachma, Bina, and Da'at. B'devarim ha'me'orerim et ha'ahava, on matters that arose this love, i.e., in contemplation of God's greatness, as the Alter Rebbe will soon conclude. As explained in the 3rd chapter, understanding the greatness of God leads one to love Him. This love, then, is one example of the divine soul's reaching from the brain into the heart. V'chein simchat levav b'tiferet Hashem v'hadar geono. Similarly, another deeper way in which the heart's emotion gives expression to the presence of the divine soul in the brain, the gladness of the heart at apprehending the beauty of God and the majesty of His glory. Kasher eine hechacham asher berosho b'moach chachmato uvinato. The gladness that is aroused when the divine soul's intellect, which the Alter Rebbe, borrowing a phrase from Ecclesiastes, Kohelet, describes as the wise man's eyes, which are in his head, meaning in the brain, harboring his wisdom and understanding. Mistaklim bikara de malka v'tiferet gedulato ad ein cheker ve'ein sof v'tachlit kim voar b'makom acher. When the eyes, i.e., intellectual faculties, gaze intently at the glory of the King and the beauty of his unfathomable, infinite, and boundless greatness, then the heart rejoices and is glad, as is explained elsewhere. Gazing with the mind's eye means that one not only understands the greatness of God, but also perceives it as though seeing it with his very eyes. Such perception arouses great joy in one's heart. And this joy, like the love spoken of earlier, is a direct result and a manifestation of the intellect of the divine soul reading in the brain. V'chein sha'ar midot kedoshot shebalev hein michachma bina da'at shebamochin. Similarly, the other holy emotions in the heart too, such as fear of God and the like, originate from Chabad, wisdom, understanding, knowledge in the brains. This is the end of my video, Tanya, day 58. Goodbye.